single stab wound to the heart. We're currently having trouble controlling the bleeding.
Knives on show at the Royal Easter Show. A violent brawl that left a teenager dying on the ground.
Uati Falatolu during a brawl on Monday night.
He died on his way to hospital as revellers were cleared out.
The drill scene's like fully kicked it off, everyone's carrying shivs around. You've got little 12-year-olds online, they're showing their blades.
It was just another example of a life lost through knife crime and gang warfare.
The war comes, it's ready.
When did you realise he was dead?
But I don't want him to be another statistic.
So you never know what someone's going to do.
These kids had their whole lives ahead of them.
Certainly what is concerning is an increase with youth violence.
And this was a massive escalation in the postcode wars involving rap music and rap groups.
Is this the most dangerous time to be on the streets for a kid?
We've had 11 kids killed in 4 years on New South Wales streets because of knife crime or postcode wars. That's the bare facts.
And to me, after 40 years of covering crime in this city, that's a terrifying number. Yeah. About 3-4 years ago, so about 2018, I think, I was talking to a very senior cop, just generally, we were just chatting, and he said, we've had to form a task force to investigate these groups of kids who are involved in clashes. These were guys that really stamped their territory, and he started breaking it down. So the suburbs that keep coming up are Mount Druitt, Doonside, Marylands, Inner West. They seem to be the magnet for these groups. There are even peripheral ones from everywhere, like Campbelltown. It's right across Sydney. You know, from that one conversation with a cop 2018 to saying, gee, we've got a problem here, that was when I first heard about postcode wars.
Pull your seal, lad, this is a different deal. Retaliation is a must, I know maybe ifs or buts. We took numerous trips around there, but lad, that's something I can't discuss.
We take a lot of our cultural trends from overseas, and the postcode wars have been no different. But the biggest trend to take root in the postcode wars has been drill rap music. Now, it started in the US and then spread to the UK, but it has absolutely blown up in Western Sydney.
Cause I got a war with anyone, dubs on dubs, we already won. Yes. Bricks on bricks, we got plenty chance, cause everything that I speak is fact. They're doing up Olympics, hey, Ashbro, stop the sprinting.
Drill rap has really entrenched itself in this teenage culture, and essentially it revolves around teenagers or gangs rapping about crimes they've committed or claim to have committed, and then taunting other groups or other individuals about what they've done. And far too often, those taunts lead to violence. Probably the best known drill rap group in Australia has been 1-4, who came out of Mount Druitt and have had massive international success.
JM, I'm a 1-4 veteran, boss on my hood cause I back my section.
Their biggest rivals, initially at least, were 21 District, who come from the inner west of Sydney. And right next to them in the suburb of Marylands is a solo rapper called A Honcho. And he has grown a massive following, not only for his music, but because police allege he's part of the infamous Almudine crime clan. And so tensions between those three in particular have been at fever pitch in recent times. But elsewhere in Sydney, music groups and solo artists have been popping up everywhere. Doonside's a really popular area. Rappers love showing off the 6-7 postcode. And then they spread all the way down to southwestern, far western Sydney, and even on the North Shore and Northern Beaches. Doonside's made a lot of headlines in recent years for its issues with youth violence, and tonight we've organised to meet up with a group of teenagers who we're told know a bit about that. You were talking to me before about some of the other suburbs around here, Mount Druitt.
It's pretty heavy there.
Why?
It's pretty intense there, so it's the area code beef, stuff like that.
This is what we grew up in.
Yeah.
How we lived it. Didn't choose it.
You didn't choose it?
We learnt the hard way growing up being kids and that.
Do you boys carry knives?
No, I don't.
You don't?
Use my fish, yeah.
Yeah. How long were you inside for?
About 3 years almost.
Right, 4.
Got out for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then went back in for assault, so...
And do you have any interest in trying to turn things around, or what's your mindset now you're out?
Yeah, try to turn it around, but if the war comes, it's ready.
Not trying to be a smartass, but I still don't understand why there's such a rivalry with Mount Druitt, even after talking to you boys. Like it.
It's been happening since high school.
Yeah, so yeah.
Really?
It's gone from being little kids, 6, 7, blah blah blah, like postcodes and that, to like personal things.
Yeah, right. So it starts when you're young.
Yeah.
And
Here's the coppers.
Yeah.
Is it? You all together?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are. Why did
Filming this.
we're filming something? Yeah, I'm from the Daily Telegraph.
Okay.
Yeah. He's working with us, and so are they, and we're just talking to local boys. While we were talking to the boys down that alleyway, a police car pulled up and the officers got out and told us that they'd had reports something sus was going on, and that people saw the balaclava and the face coverings and thought an armed robbery might have been about to occur. And so we moved on. And as we were walking away, one of the teenagers told me that not only was he Uwati Falatolu's best mate, but he was with him at the Easter show, and in fact, he himself was stabbed in the leg when that wild brawl unfolded. When did you realise he was dead?
I was looking around after I got stabbed, and I was looking around for my mates, and then I thought everything was fine, and then like we didn't think of it because we were in shock in that when it happened, when we seen him get stabbed and that. Like we didn't know. We thought like it still would have been Nito and that. And then I was getting run past him, and then I seen him on the floor like getting worked on.
Yeah.
But we thought he was all right because I heard there was one wound or something, and then I got to the shed where they were strapping up my leg and stuff. I heard on the radio, young patient in cardiac arrest and stuff. Yeah, I knew he was gone. But yeah, I couldn't like move. Like when I seen him on the floor, I couldn't move or nothing. I was like in shock. That's why I just stick to making money and stuff now. I don't.
Because you've seen your mate?
Yeah, seen my mate pass, yeah.
The postcode wars had been bubbling away in Western Sydney for a number of years, but the death of Uwati Falatolu at the Royal Easter Show meant instantly it was an issue that could no longer be ignored.
Knives on show at the Royal Easter Show. A violent brawl that left a teenager dying on the ground.
Uwati Falatolu during a brawl on Monday night.
This road behind me may look like every other one out here at Homebush, but every Easter it comes alive when it's shut off and turned into what's known as the carnival section of the Royal Easter Show. And it's right here that Uwati Falatolu was working on the breakdance ride as an attendant for the second year running, a part-time job to earn himself some money. When he took his break on the first Monday night of the show, caught up with some other mates from their home suburb of Doonside, they bumped into another group of teenagers from another postcode. And that's all it takes. Very quickly, what is two groups of teenagers walking around enjoying the Royal Easter Show turns into a massive brawl, where not only a punch is thrown and wrestles had, but a knife is pulled and plunged into the heart of Uwati, and he dies instantly. There's nothing that can be done, despite the best efforts of parents who've brought their young kids to enjoy their first show, paramedics who perform a makeshift open heart surgery as he lies here on the concrete.
Single stab wound to the heart. We're currently having trouble controlling the bleeding.
You've got a 17-year-old kid working his part-time job just a few weeks after finding out that he was about to have a baby with his teenage girlfriend, dying at the Royal Easter Show.
Sitting in sales, cops got them on lock, no internet beef, I ain't used to that. See them on streets, I ain't new to that. Robbing for goods, then I'm moving that. They be dissing the hood, that be stupid like. Can't come around that way. Can't come here violate. Can't come here if you're an outsider. My team don't.
What we've learnt in the aftermath of Uwati's death was that he featured in the music video for the song Our Ways by MT and CO, who are rappers out of Doonside. And what I think that goes to show is not that he was a bad kid or that he was a gangster in any way. It just simply highlights how immersive drill rap culture has become in Western Sydney. And what's most concerning is that literally in Uwati's case, having any gang affiliation can be deadly.
The murder of 20-year-old Tino Henry, who was stabbed in the chest in Parramatta yesterday morning. He later died in hospital.
the early hours of Saturday morning in Parramatta in October 2018, police are called to a brawl of youths not far from here near Parramatta Station. By the time they got there, there was nothing there. But half an hour later, a man is found bleeding to death here. That's Tino Henry. He's part of the 21 district, a gang. He was stabbed a couple of times and died in nearby Westmead Hospital. Those that were caught were teenagers, 17, 19, and this is what led police to actually uncovering this culture of violence driven by drill music, of carrying knives, of hatred, that is claiming the lives of a lot of young people in Sydney.
Being two of the first groups on the scene in Sydney, there was naturally a rivalry between 1-4 and 21 District. But that went to another level after the death of Tino Henry in Parramatta. Tino was a member of 21 District, and so after his death, 1-4 decided to taunt their rivals by releasing the song The Message.
I got friends looking at 10, you watch yours get put in a box. 21 what, but one got knocked. Ha, I guess that makes them 20.
They explicitly said that with Tino gone, 21 District were down from 21 to 20. And so 21 District have no option but to respond, and they do so a few months later with the release of their song, The Reply.
That was conduct, right? Between one got knocked. Nah, lad, I ain't gonna let that slide. From the ride, in my X5 with the puppy on the side. Disrespect, fallen soldiers, that's straight suicide.
And in it, they point to a number of things, including that they've been around longer than 1-4, and that disrespecting a fallen soldier, as they call Tino, is something that demands retaliation. And so this rap beef goes viral, and tensions in Western Sydney threaten to boil over. And what it also does is lay the blueprint for teenagers and gangs as to how they themselves can become rich and famous. Hurt your rival, and then rap about it.
My name is Andre Johnson, also known as Mr. Montgomery. I'm a music journalist and a documentary maker. I have a mixed view on drill. I don't believe it causes knife crime, but I do think it's an influence on knife crime.
And I want to find out to what extent drill music has a bearing on violent crime on the streets of London.
The drill scene's like fully kicked it off, everyone's carrying shivs around. You got little 12-year-olds online, they're showing their blades.